the Stargate SG-1 role-playing game. My name is Lee Alley. I'll be your Gate Master or GM for today's episode or session. The episode that we're going to be playing, I'm going to use quotes for episode, is called Joyride, and I have my players here to help us out. We have Eric, who's going to be playing Oringo the Unas. We're going to have Will here, who's playing Cholera. She is a medic, a Turin medic. Thank you. They have Dan, who's playing Burvell, who is a Tolan human, but also an engineer. I forgot to say, Oringo is a scout, so he's going to be our scout to make sure no one else gets into too much trouble. We have Steven, who's playing Atir, who is our Jaffa soldier. So he'll be maybe saving everyone's butts, I guess, when it comes down to it, once we get this session started. This is using the Stargate SG-1 role-playing game system, which uses 5th edition D&D rules with some variations and whatnot. There was a Kickstarter recently that has ended, but it's very, very successful. And if you're interested in actually wanting to get the game, you still can. There's pre-orders, and what you can do is go to stargatetherepg.com. You can do some pre-orders there. You can check out for updates and all those things. We're still in pre-launch right now for the book. It will be on shelves late this summer of 2021. So I guess stay tuned for all that. Like I said, go to stargatetherepg.com. Very briefly about myself is I am one of the episode writers for the Stargate SG-1 role-playing game Living Campaign that we've been working for Season 1. That should be out very, very soon. And I'm also the campaign runner for Season 2 as we're working behind the scenes to get that for everyone. And that's the Living Campaign. So again, just go to the website. That'll give you all the information that you need to know and sign up for your characters as well to play the Living Campaign. Oh, sorry for rambling there. A little bit more before we start. I am also a podcaster. Of course, everyone's a podcaster, and who isn't? I have a podcast called Roll the Dice, which Dan is also my co-host, and we talk about a bunch of fun things, role-playing topics and whatnot. And we'll tell you a little bit more information after the episode, after the session, because we need to get started on this session right now, don't we?
Yes. Let's go.
Let's go. So this is a side mission. Episode is called Joyride. It's an episode I wrote myself for you guys to enjoy. This takes place during SG-1's 6th season. So that kind of indicates this, picture a TV show that was running parallel along SG-1. And on this TV show is this new site called Phoenix Site. And it has housed all the other oppressed races of our galaxy that have been oppressed by the Goa'uld to form together an alliance. And that's where your characters are. Oringo, Cholera, Burvell, and Atir. You're all their own SG team, but since it's a different site, it's separate from SG-1, separate from the SGC, you guys are Phoenix 1. And so these characters you're playing are pre-generated characters. They're the hero characters of the Stargate SG-1 role-playing game. So these are the premier. Basically, you guys are SG-1 in this world. So you guys are the heroes, which is kind of cool. So we're going to start Joyride right now. All of you have leave now from Phoenix Site. You don't have to go on any Stargate missions right now, and were asked by your commander or general, PK Lawyer, to have some free time and to go to the city of Haven. Haven is located outside of Phoenix Site. I'll put the pictures up for you, and you can see here's Phoenix Site right here. Of course, very similar to Cheyenne Mountain, back on Earth. It's underneath a mountain, secure. But because this is on a different planet altogether, we brought in several of these oppressed races, refugees from the Goa'uld, onto this planet for safekeeping. And all of them have made a home for themselves called Haven on the remains of another ancient town that was there previously on this planet. You can see that kind of gives you an idea of where you are. And so you have all these different races kind of mixing together in a melting pot. And so an unofficial name of Haven, the town of Haven is called Fondue. And all of you have been asked, because you all work kind of for the military, to, when you go out, be friendly, be accommodating to the people, the townsfolk, the civilians, if you will. And you know that there is a Tok'ra that has landed nearby Haven, and they have been handing out toys and candy to the children of Haven. The children have been getting kind of antsy. They're not really allowed to go roaming too far out of the outskirts of Haven. And right now they haven't had too much joy right now. And so this Tok'ra, Mishpra, they have come down on their shuttlecraft, parked it outside of Haven. It's a beautiful day right now. They're handing out different candies and toys. And the toys are more like party favors, like when you have a kid's party and whatnot. All those simple things like yo-yos and little sparklers, things like that, balloons and whatnot. It's more of a gathering to make sure the kids are having a good time. And so again, you've been asked to go ahead and do that. At nighttime, you know that they will be having a fireworks festival for the kids as well. Just something to give back to the kids. So there you are on the outskirts of the town. Where there's a bunch of crates laid out, and a bunch of the Haven children are surrounding these crates as people are handing them out. So would any of you like to assist in handing out toys and candy to the kids?
I will. I'll go and talk to the Tok'ra and help them hand out toys and stuff, and maybe ask them about the Jaffa and if they had any toys as kids and how they became. Did the Tok'ra have toys? Kind of get the little history from it as I talk and help hand out.
So Mishpra smiles and says, "The Tok'ra never had children. We just find hosts that we need as adults. But Jaffa children, yes."
Oh, fascinating. I continue to hand out. I don't know how many kids there are here and how many.
Sure.
What kind of toys they're handing out. But I just kind of watch the kids and how they react and just try to help ease any tension.
There are dozens of children of varying ages, from from toddlers and their parents coming by, bringing them in, giving them toys and whatnot. You do see a group of 3 teenagers. They're probably 13, 14. And they're around too. It's sort of like the idea of teenagers going trick-or-treating when they're a little bit too old for this, but they kind of still want candy. And no one's really not going to say anything. They're just kind of around at the outskirts of the crowd of kids that are asking for candy and things. I'll say all of you are there. What other types of toys or candy would you like to hand out? It's not just strictly Tok'ra candy and things. It's just stuff that they've collected from many other cultures that they've handed out. And there's also some Tauri or human people that are handing out like candy bars and other product named things. I'm not going to name candy bars from Stargate. But you know what I'm talking about. As they're handing them out and all the kids are just lighting up, and one of them might say Bonnie Way as they're excited about this. You would also see, for Ringo actually, you see a small group, like 3 or 4 Unas children. So you see little lizard kids that are also in there. So again, like a mixture of different races and other alien races you've never seen before that aren't just human. So again, I talk too much there, but what other types of toys and like party favor things, candy and whatnot, would you want to be handing out to these kids?
Party poppers.
Some party poppers, nice.
Maybe some Chinese finger traps. I don't know.
I like the idea. I'll say because you're a Ringo, you're an Unas. The Unas children come up to you. One's maybe probably 4 years old. I believe they come out of eggs. Don't quote me on that. So this is a fresh hatchling that you recognize. This one, you hand them a finger trap type toy, and they a little stronger than normal children at that age. Just rip it, and then they look confused, like, and they do some clicks, like, and you can tell they're starting to learn English from their teachers here in Haven. Like, toy fun to you.
It's supposed to trap your fingers. If you ever get another one, don't pull it quite so hard and pretend like your fingers are trapped. It's kind of fun.
The Tok'ra, Mishpra goes over and puts 4 of them on his fingers, and then that way it's a lot more sturdy, and then he goes off all happy. Anyone else have any party favors or candy that you want to hand out?
So I'm gonna be that adult and hand out fruit.
Because Clara is a Turin and a medic as well, so she's handing that out, and thanks. Some kids, thanks. Disappointed looks at you.
Hey, natural sugar. It's good for you.
Their parents say, remember, say thank you politely, and they say thank you. Oh, you're that candy giver out.
Yes, I am.
Atir, you're a Jaffa.
Yeah.
Or are you just gonna be standing there stoically?
Yeah, because I'm not so much into this. Hand them sticks, let them beat each other.
Gosh.
Learn to fight.
Yes.
Burvell, anything, any type of party treat or anything you want to hand out? Make up randomly?
I don't know. I'll hand out like little toy spaceships or whatever, and then also toss some large candy bars to the teenagers in the distance. Like, hey, and throw them at them. Toss to them.
I like that. So the little toy ones, I'll say they are little models of 302s that from the Tari Air Force. You being a Tolan, maybe kind of think that they're not as advanced as the Tolan type ships that you had, but the kids seem to like it as they're playing around with it. And you said you threw some candy bars at the teenagers?
Yeah, you said they're on the outskirts out there,
Yes.
so it looked like they want candy. So I try to, catch and throw it.
Nice. So you look over there, and the teenagers, I said you're guessing like 13, 14 years old. They're dressed in Jaffa attire, not armor necessarily, but you notice none of them have the Jaffa tattoo on their foreheads at all. One of them is a girl with short black hair. You see another guy. He's a little bit more barrel-chested and taller than them, and the other one has shaggy hair. And is kind of sheepish, has his hair over his eyes, and just kind of looks around. He's the one who gets doesn't catch the candy bar in his hands, and it bounces off their head, and it falls down. And the other two laugh and point.
Just yell out, "You're supposed to catch it!"
And they go down and pick up the candy bar and look at it, and looks at you, and gives a big smile. At that point, you see this other Jaffa approach the little area, that little table, and all the crates that are handing out these candies and toys. I'll say most of you recognize him. You've seen him around. He is a stoic man, not too tall, grizzled, eyes showing that he's seen battle for quite some time, is wearing full Jaffa armor, has a silver skull cap on his head, and does have a golden tattoo on his forehead that once showed that he was a first prime of Apophis. And you recognize this as Master Braytak. Master Braytak has been here in Haven to help teach some of the Jaffa the way of the warrior. And Atir, I'll say that you've also assisted in helping some of the other Jaffa here, keeping the warrior traditions and whatnot. And he's been actually teaching these 3 Jaffa to hit each other with sticks. Perhaps even you've assisted in some of these sparring things. And so I say, Atir, these children. You know that's Nika over there, the girl with the short hair. You have Jortel, who's a little bit more barrel-chested, a little bit more slow. Is definitely a follower. Is always daydreaming. And you have Mason, the shaggy-haired, not as coordinated, and definitely is not warrior material. And they have been working with Master Braytek because they've been kind of labeled as troublemakers. Maybe you've tried working with them in sparring, and they don't listen. They don't show up when they're supposed to. They're not really great at Kelnorim, that's meditating and things like that. They're just not really involved. They're kind of becoming rebellious teenagers because they don't have structure. You do know that they have gone through the primata, which means that they have symbiotes, gold symbiotes in their bellies, but they were never full-fledged Jaffa. They were rescued and taken away before they would become actual warriors. So they're trying to show them ways, they're just not catching on to it right now. And just so you know, for the Primata to have the gold symbiote in there, I believe that without this, when Jaffa teenagers when they get to puberty, when kids get to puberty, their immune system starts to die off, and they must have this symbiote to keep them alive, basically. So that's what's happening there. And you can tell that, especially Nika, the girl with the black hair, she's definitely the leader. And it looks like she's for a tier, you can tell she's up to no good right now. Like, she goes over and she's kind of picking on some of the smaller kids and maybe even taking some of their candy away.
Okay. How far away is she?
Oh, just a couple of meters away from the back of the group, like 3 meters away.
I'm gonna be doing that kind of stink eye look at her right now to see if she's looking, if she ever looks at me or not. If not, I'm getting my my staff ready.
She gives you the stink eye back, and so for a while you're staring at each other. How is anyone else? How are you reacting to this stink eye stare off?
I'm going to see what happens. I'm by the other.
Staring at each other.
Yeah, they're staring at each other. I want to see how it's handled. I kind of feel like, maybe he's been teaching some of them in the past. He's probably got this under control.
If the little kids are missing candy, I will take them some extra.
They are super happy. They start climbing all over you, and even when you stand up, you have kids holding on to you and holding onto your legs as you move, and so they're using you as a jungle gym off to the side.
Okay.
No one's afraid. None of the children are afraid of you. Being a cool lizard man, which is opposite of what you've noticed in Phoenix Site with the other Tari human, like air people and whatnot, airmen, that they Unas in a uniform. It's still standoffish, but here, perfectly normal, perfectly happy. Clara, are you cool just observing?
I'm getting my medkit ready just in case.
Okay, get ready. Master Braytech comes over to your shoulder and puts his arm on your shoulder a tear, like, troublesome use, wouldn't you say?
I think we need to give them a little more structure.
That is why I've been called here, for a little bit more of the way of the warrior. I think they've indulged in too much other cultures, perhaps. Perhaps they don't know what it means to be a Jaffa.
Yeah, that's more than likely what the issue is here. More structure.
Agreed. He pats you on the shoulder and he walks over. Like, come now, students. And he walks over to the three of them, who, Jortel, the more heavy-set one, snaps to attention while the other ones kind of sheepishly look around, like, we will begin our lessons. And he snaps his finger and puts his arms behind his back as the three of them kind of fall into line and walk away with Master Braytech to go do their training, their Jaffa training, of course. Hit each other with sticks, as you do, as Jaffa. Nika, though, as she's walking away, she still keeps eye contact with you, Atir. Still shooting daggers back at you. Like this is your fault that I'm in trouble now.
Good.
Somehow. It's your fault, not hers. So it is now nighttime, and we're going to have the fireworks display. Everyone is out for this one. Any of the other military from Phoenix Site are on leave. You would even see General Lawyer out there in his, still in his shirt, uniform, attire, and tie, of course, as he's still usually always in that outfit. Fireworks are going off. It's amazing. They're being shot off at nighttime, and you can see the rings around the planet shining from the moonlight. And as the fireworks are going off, you hear commotion off to one side of over where I'll say after you were done handing out the candy, I'll say you went over and picked up all the empty crates and put them back in Mishpra, Tok'ra shuttle, which is a Teltac shuttle, very small. It's a cargo ship basically, and you dump it back in, so you know where that shuttle is. You hear commotion coming from over there, come further on the outskirts of town, and then you see the shuttle itself start to take up during the fireworks that are going off, and it's going up, but you can see it's not being piloted very well, as it's kind of one wing dips this way and one wing dips this way, and it turns around, and it's flying now over everyone, and including the crowd. And as it spins around, you can see through the cockpit windows, those three teenagers are at the controls right now, and they're arguing over how to pilot it, as Nika is at the controls right now, but she's having a hard time controlling it, and they're all just kind of moving around, and she finally gets it straight as it shoots up into the sky, past all the fireworks, and it goes so quickly, it hits some of the rings that are around this planet, and it just cuts through it. So think of rings just like Saturn, it just kind of cuts through it, and you can tell sparks kind of fly off of it, and something goes wrong, as now they've gone out of orbit now on this ship, but they've damaged the ship as they've left.
That is not good.
Do we have any kind of communication device that we can communicate to the shuttle, or is it getting out of range?
It is now out of range. You're going to have to go to Phoenix Site to go to the command tower, or command room, to contact them. As General Lawyer is there and says, we should probably do that very quickly.
Yeah, I'll start heading that way.
All right, so we cut scene and we come back, and all of you are in Phoenix Site Command, and this is where you have the Stargate room, just very similar to the control room in underneath Cheyenne Mountain, laid out the same way, and you're able to communicate. You have the computers and whatnot right there, and they've already tracked that this ship has left, this shuttle has left orbit right now, and they're already trying to contact the shuttle right now, and the view screen is up with the three kids. So
do the kids say anything?
Right now, all I hear is just yelling and screaming as they're arguing with each other. And it's like, no, we have to get back into orbit. We don't have enough fuel for that right now. We've damaged most of it. We're leaking all of it. And you hear alarms blaring behind them, coming from their shuttle. I try to turn around. I'm trying. I can't.
Are we able to communicate now to them?
Yes, you can.
This is Burvell from the Phoenix Site. What are your names?
This is Nika here.
Nika, I need you guys to calm down. Can you tell me how much fuel you have right now?
That's where the shaggy-haired kid, Mason, they say, and he's looking over her shoulder as she's the one piloting and holding the controls. It says it's dropping fast. We're almost at like about 10%.
10%. Okay. I will relay controls to say how to kind of like stop it, at least from going further first. So how to like turn off the engines. So I'll relay, I need you to press, the button on your right to do an emergency shutdown of your system. And if I know how that they can save fuel, I'll try to figure out a way of saving fuel. If there's a conserve button or, fix patch hole button that they have,
So do an engineering check. It will be at disadvantage because so it'll be basically for you how well that they understand your directions. So give me an engineering check.
15.
Yep. Okay, I think I got it. Good. I think we have fuel now. Okay, I think we have enough. Should turn around. So they calm down for a moment, and there's kind of, you can see, there's on another screen, it shows that they have definitely escaped. They're still in this area solar system. They've definitely broken orbit from the Phoenix planet, but you can tell that they're approaching a gas giant planet that has several moons, and the Phoenix site has been here for a little bit, but not enough to really explore the solar system. They've done a quick mapping, and you know this this gas giant has plenty of moons, and that's at the same time you realize this. The shuttle violently shakes as they're being brought in by the gravitational pull now. They shut off their thrusters. Now they're just being floated towards this gas giant. Oh, what's going on? One of them yells.
Is there a way I can relay their information of the shuttle to my display or something, so I can see life support, I can see engines, I can see, or if there's like a remote pilot that I could do to the ship?
There isn't a remote pilot, but you get the intel or the information on the shuttle. It does not have enough fuel now to escape that pull, and they also damaged some of their thrusters, so it seems like they're going down right now. But yeah, they're going down.
Okay.
Does anyone else want to
Going down into the gas giant?
It looks like it, correct. Does anyone else have any ideas or things they want to do here?
Could they get to a moon, which may be less bad?
So we're going.
I don't
yes.
know. Going into the gas giant doesn't sound like a good idea.
So you look at the map of the solar system and you say that like moon, and General Lawyer says, "Excellent idea." And then he kind of steps in like, "Children, if you can, aim for." And he starts transferring has you, Burvell, transfer the information of that moon. Like, we want you to try to land on that moon. And then you look at the moon, and it does have, because again, they just scan it very quickly. It isn't a moon like ours. It does have an atmosphere.
Is it breathable air though? Or...
You look at it. I'll say you're checking it out. And it does have breathable air, but its oxygen is much lower. It's around 13% oxygen instead of normal 20-ish as we have here on Earth. So they can last for a while there, but not for long. Well, and the power systems of the ship and life support will last a while, but they're going down right now as they're going down quickly.
I just want to calculate as much as I can for them to tell them when to hit the boosters or last energy that they have to get to the moon, and then how they can conserve energy to life support, those kind of things, so we have time to try to get to them.
Okay. Anyone else want to contribute? Or any other ideas?
I'm looking around to see if there's any other shuttles or anything that we could prep to go on a rescue mission. Nice.
I'll say one of the airmen comes in and they say, "We're getting another Teltec shuttle prepped for the rescue." And I'll say, you can handle that, Atir. And it's getting everything prepped and whatnot. Yep. So yeah, you go to the hangar bay and get that all ready.
Don't forget to have supplemental oxygen.
I was going to say, while they're doing that, I was going to start requisitioning stuff for oxygen deprivation.
Nice. Okay. I'll say you get a fantastic med kit for that. Oringo, yep, you tell Atir. And Atir, yep, you're grabbing four spacesuits. So it would be simple white with, not the enormous ones, of course, so backpack because you're not going to space, just for oxygen and whatnot. So you're prepping that on the Teltac shuttle. Burvell, give me an engineering check. Again, it'll be at disadvantage as you're trying to relay the best information you can for the kids, and hopefully they follow suit.
8 for the disadvantage one.
An 8. They got an 8, so not that great. They're panicking right now. Yeah, you hear one on the screen, "We're going in! We're going to crash!" And that's when communication is cut out, visual and audio. But you're still tracking them on another screen of the shuttle going down, and it does look like they crash landed on that moon that does have an atmosphere, luckily, instead of being into the gas giant, and the blip is still going. So you do have energy signature or whatnot of them there. They didn't just explode and die, but the communications have been cut off, unfortunately.
Can I estimate how long we have? If they've lost their oxygen in the ship, how long would they have on the planet itself?
That's hard to estimate because you don't know the damage of the ship afterwards. But from the damage that they had right now, they would probably have 2 days of oxygen from the original scanning of the ship. But after the crash, you don't know.
Okay, so 2 days at the max.
2 days at the max right now, correct?
Okay.
For life support.
Right. Well, we have to get to them as soon as possible. Like I relay that to the team. Like we have 2 days at max of oxygen for them to survive there. I don't know if the ship crashed and cracked the hull, so some of the oxygen might be leaking. We might have not much time at all.
General Lawyer says, agreed, and there is no Stargate on that moon, so get going as quick as you can, Phoenix 1. Okay, so because of that, as you were, Burvell, you were in the control room, you can't grab any extra items or gear from the gear room, from the army and whatnot, or any other equipment. So you have to head right there. Atir, you are getting the ship ready, and you have four spacesuits. Cholera, you were able to get your a fantastic med kit as you were preparing for that. Aringo, would you have gone to get some more equipment at that time while Burvell was on the horn with them, communicator with them?
Most likely.
Okay. What equipment would you like to get?
So what do we normally have on a shuttle? Nothing. So I have to start from scratch.
For this shuttle, yeah. Really, they don't really have any. It's a cargo shuttle, and there was nothing inside of it, really.
If I assume Atir is getting oxygen, and so I guess I will focus on food, water, and a couple of tents, and just my normal gear that I would have.
Okay. Yep. You all have tents, and you all have some food. I'll say there will be rations already on that shuttle, and
Okay.
yeah, emergency rations and an emergency med kit would be on there. That makes sense. They would have that on there.
Do we know anything about this planet or moon?
Yeah, this moon just has that low oxygen, and that's really it. There's nothing really else that was scanned.
Do we have any sort of scanning equipment that we can bring along to help us?
Well, the ship will have some scanners, won't
The
it?
ship will have some scanners, yes.
All right, I don't really know what else I should bring, so I'd probably just grab my normal stuff.
Okay.
With some tents and stuff.
If
That would
I can make a suggestion, we don't know if the shuttle crashed to a point where we can't get it open, so maybe something to cut open the hull. Just in
Jaws of
case.
life. Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah, I'll say you grab a cutting torch. That would be, yep.
And I probably would see if we have any diving equipment. So for the kids, that we could grab a tank and the mask or whatever to keep them going to a little longer with like diving gear.
So you're just grabbing, okay, I'll say you grab an oxygen tank and 3 masks.
Perfect.
Nice. Okay, that'll be, okay, that sounds good to me. All right, so getting the shuttle. Who is going to be piloting the shuttle?
I have a forward
Not me.
pilot.
Not it.
We have a
Not it.
I'll pilot, I guess.
I believe in Burvell.
Sounds good. Well, you don't have to roll piloting just to exit Phoenix planets.
I crashed.
You guys can't even get out of the
He must do
hangar
better
bay.
than the children.
All the
Yeah.
credits where they show the funeral.
The end.
So, Aringo, you have a scanner for a signal beacon. So you do have a scanner.
Like a handheld one that I can, like once we land or in the ship.
Once you land, you'll have one. All
Okay.
right. Okay. You guys quickly get in the shuttle. As you're leaving the hangar bay, you have General Lawyer who gives a salute to you, and you take off. As you're taking off over the town of Haven, everyone's watching you, and you can see some of the family members of probably the kids or whatnot. They're looking all concerned as you fly up through the night and into space as you're heading towards this gas giant that is more swirly green and blues with a lot more white swirling around. And then you're several different moons, but you're heading to the moon, obviously, they crashed on. You're getting closer, and you can see it's just this brown marble that has like more yellow clouds swirling around it. It looks like its atmosphere is pretty violent and very windy.
Is there vegetation?
You use a scanner of the ship. There is no vegetation. It does have an atmosphere, but it doesn't look like it has any plant life. It looks just, really inhospitable.
I just kind of look for the best way to fly down on the planet if there's any kind of atmospheric pressure that we have to watch out for, things like that, changing weather patterns, all that things. Just calculating the best route.
Okay. I'll say do that. You're definitely going to have a hard time coming in and with all the high winds and different pressures. So I say since you scanned ahead of time, you're aware of this. I'll need a piloting check from you. It will be at regular. Would anyone be a co-pilot in this situation?
If it'll help, sure.
I got the Una stepping in is like helping out. Okay, so since you have a co-pilot now, you get to roll your piloting with advantage now there, Burvell. And as you're coming in, are you trying to get as close as you can to the down ship? The down shuttle, their shuttle?
Yeah, best route as close as possible. Okay.
Give me a roll.
With a good landing.
8.
An 8. I've calculated just fine for it. And then as soon as you start getting into this atmosphere, the entire ship buckles and you all drop as you get hit by, you were not expecting such strong winds, and your ship is going down.
This is all expected. Don't worry. And I try to stay calm as I'm freaking out.
It's falling like a rock and just pummeling. You just see you're just going through the clouds and just being knocked around right now. Alarms are going off. You're starting to tip. I'll say you haven't spun around completely, but you're starting to almost go into a nosedive. So give me another.
This is just the quickest route down. Trust me.
Give me another piloting check. Ringo, I still hope you're been buckled in and helping out.
Yeah, I totally am buckled in.
Do you say give any words of encouragement to Ravel as a co-pilot or anyone else?
Don't kill us on our first mission. Okay, this isn't our first mission.
There you go. Eric's first mission. Okay, give me another piloting check. You get it. Advantage. A 20. Okay, you are about to nosedive. You get the power back on. You're coming down, and you start to put in your landing procedures, and you finally land. You didn't have time, unfortunately, to know exactly where you are, and you lost track of the other shuttle that you're landing. But you land down on this barren rock, just brown red rock formations all over, huge boulders, and as you land, very subtly, very well, because you got a 20. That's really good piloting. So you kind of come down really quickly and finally land just fine, and you set it down. You feel when you land on the ground, on the crust of this planet, it kind of shifts, and part of the wing dips down as it breaks through the ground, almost like a sinkhole or like there's a cave underneath. But you're on solid right now. Solid surface.
Well, I say, we're here. See, told you, quickest way down. And I'm still holding on to it like white-knuckled, hanging on to the steering wheel. We did it!
They'll have more oxygen because we got here so quickly. Good job.
Very good.
Will we be able to take off again? Do you know?
One step at a time. Let's find them.
Well, if it's going to be an issue getting off the moon, perhaps somebody could focus on that, and other people focus on getting the children.
I'll say, Ringo, you look at it, and yeah, it's fine. The shuttle has all its power, and it wasn't damaged. Just part of that wing just kind of dipped, is buried a little bit. It went into the ground, and it looks like it's hollow underneath, or is a cave perhaps underneath. But your ship is in viable conditions. Wind and like dust particles and rocks are just battering your hull right now, and just stuff is just bouncing off of it. And you look through the cockpit, and the visibility is really low. It's just like a constant haze of a little bit of sunlight coming through this atmosphere. It's just like a haze of brownish yellow, and hard to see too many meters in front of you.
Can I pick up where the other ship is on a scanner? And can I also try to do like a seismic scan of the area to see if I can tell like why we're sinking here, or if it's stuck, and if there's anything to worry about when we're traveling?
Okay. Anyone else? Or does that sound like a good idea?
I'd probably grab the diver's mask without the tank connected. So when I go outside, I won't have all that in my eyes and stuff. So
all of you have spacesuits that you've gathered as well.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna start shooting up.
Okay, start suiting up.
yeah, that'll work better.
You grab the one and only one that can fit in Unas. It was probably made specifically for you, Ringo. Helmet-wise and whatnot to fit in your horns and whatnot. Okay.
You have to poke a hole in it.
So, yeah, you don't have to poke any holes in it. That'd be a good thing. So, Brevel, you scan right now. The shuttle is only 1 kilometer away because you managed to get the shuttle under control and land as close as you possibly could to them. You meant to do that, of course. So only 1 kilometer away, but then you scan the crust of this moon, I should say, and it is very brittle, and there's a bunch of sinkholes or caves underneath. The crust is very, very thin, so you're going to have to be very careful as you make a trek out there. And again, with all the wind, you might get lost pretty easily. But luckily, Ringo does have a handheld scanner to keep you on track on your trek out there.
Do I have some sort of advanced space stick that I could test the ground in front of me with?
Advanced space stick. Well, Atir has his staff.
Yeah, that sounds like an advanced space stick.
Yeah,
Are we able to, do we have to walk there, or can I try to fly the ship?
Okay.
No,
we're
walking.
You can attempt to, but getting over there, you might crash again. The wind is so strong and unpredictable. I'll say, yeah, you think that, and then gusts of wind just hit your entire ship, pushing it, sliding it on the ground, and it sinks a little bit. Now the wing has sunk a little bit deeper into the underground crevasse. And then also when you scan, you can tell that the kids' shuttle that crashed is now underground. And
are we able to tell if there's any tunnels from here or there?
There are no tunnels that connect, but there's a bunch of sinkholes all over this planet. Some small, some very, very deep. Some of the crust is much more thick, some isn't. They've managed to crash through and made their own cave in a way, and you can tell their life support is not going to last for very long.
Okay. It looks like we have to hurry, and the wind's too unpredictable. I don't think I can fly there, especially after landing. I don't know. Is this something I have to stay and try to work the ship out while they go, or does the ship look like it'll be able to take off right now, or is it has sunk too low?
Give me an engineering check.
It might be a good idea just to stay, just in case it starts sinking further.
Yeah. Normal is 12.
Yep, 12. There is a chance that it could possibly sink further. As you've gathered the gust of wind, it really pushed it more. But engineering check, you're not damaged, but there could be more further damage.
Okay. I think I might stay with the ship for several reasons. One, to make sure the ship doesn't sink any further and I can be here in case something happens. Two, in case they get stuck somewhere, I can chance the flight in the wind to pick them up if I need to. Even though it's a dangerous, trek to try to pick them up if something happens, I still think having the ship available is probably a good choice.
Okay.
Agreed.
Is Brevel going to stay by themselves? Is anyone going to stay with?
Okay, staying by myself. It's up
I'm
to
not
you guys.
staying.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm already at the door.
Yeah. Yep. Atir just.
I'm going to stay here. Oh, where'd everyone go? Oh, I guess they're all gone already.
Hi, Brevel.
Here.
Yeah, and Clara definitely has to go as medical training to assist the teenagers. Call them teenagers, not kids. They'd hate. Yeah. Anyway. Okay.
They're kids.
Yep. One thing I definitely forgot to mention at the beginning of my spiel was the tension die for this episode. We're set at a D8. So a typical more lighthearted episode would be a D4. A regular one would be a D6. The higher that you get, the more dangerous the mission or episode will be. So you're at D8 for your tension die. That is a system that is unique to this role-playing game. Okay. So, who heads on out first? Who opens the door? I think it's Atir. You're right there.
Me. Definitely, yes.
You're ready to go. You blast open a door and you're just hit by wind and dust and bits of rock kind of come in there. Brevel, you don't have a suit on, so you kind of get hit by this blast of air and knocks you back a tier for a little bit. You have your arm on the side of the door as you pull your way out, and then they get used to fighting against the wind that's kind of pushing you constantly. And it'd be the same for Oringo and Cholera. You will
Do
have...
our spacesuits have a communication system where we can talk?
Eric, you're ahead of me. Awesome. Yes, you all can communicate with one another. It's a little more sparkly, not sparkly, staticky. That's the word, staticky than normal. But you can definitely still communicate with each other. And lonely Brevel.
Yeah, I'll try to keep it open so I can hear and see if they're getting out of range or things like that too.
Okay.
All right, I got this scanner thing, and I will tell us the general direction. But a tier, can you try to have us avoid falling into any pits with your stick?
So yeah, I'll use
the
it
best
like
option we
a
have
staff.
right now, I think maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know, unless my scanner can detect pits.
All right. Give me, Oringo, you get a survival check with advantage with a tier and survival stick, or using his Matok staff. An 18?
Yep.
Nice. Okay. So you realize you're going fairly slow at first, but becoming more comfortable. You can tell that because it's mostly a flat type surface. It is by rocky. It's just dirt and rock all over the place. You see huge boulders, but some of them, the more large ones, have started breaking through the crust. And so you get the impression of going near large boulders is probably a bad thing. So that gives you an indication of how to navigate there. But unfortunately, you're not going in a straight line now. You're kind of going around to make sure you don't fall into a sinkhole. So you're not getting there very quickly.
Can I assist on their traveling by, I don't know if I can see them on a map and see where they're going and say, make sure they're heading in the right direction in case they can't see. I can give them a heading.
I'll say that you and Oringo, because Oringo has a scanner, you're using the ship scanner. Yep, you're assisting him do that, and you can tell that you're monitoring them. They're on the right track, and they're doing okay so far.
Okay.
Did anybody grab a rope?
Nope.
I believe...
Unless I have a rope by default.
Oringo has a climbing kit, which would have a rope at default. Okay.
All right. Just making sure.
So, Brevel, I'll say that you notice that as you're scanning, there's a big gust of wind. You can tell like the atmosphere pressures are changing and whatnot. And Cholera, I want you to roll a nature check because you're an Aturan and very much in tune with nature and planets and whatnot. And I want to get a good feeling about this planet.
So before I roll that, I have a quick question. Does this have to deal with the ecosystem of the planet?
Yes.
All right, so then I add the tension die to this check.
And you're going to get an advantage as well from Brevel assisting from the ship.
Okay. So that would be a 15 then.
Nice. A 15. You're starting to understand the gusts are coming in a relatively, somewhat predictable, not exactly, but relatively predictable way. And you're starting to figure out when to lean forward and not get leaned back. And this helps you get there much quicker. This helps you assist in making sure that you start, all right, everyone start jogging right now. Okay, brace yourselves. The wind is going to be hitting right now. Maybe even Brevel counts it down from the ship. And so that you all kind of sturdy yourselves just fine.
Can we try contacting the teenager ship while we're on the way? I don't know if it has any sort of communication that might start picking up once we get closer.
Brevel, you try doing that, and you notice that, unfortunately, it looks like their ship is losing power very, very quickly, and you can tell they just have just life support right now. No communications at all.
Okay.
So unfortunately, not. You try making contact with them, and they're just static.
Okay. Yeah, I'm not getting anything, Oringo. You might have to get closer. Maybe the power supply will be just enough that you can contact them once you're near them. But right now, I'm not getting any signal from them.
Okay.
And
I guess I didn't have a big hope for that, but thought I'd check.
Also for Clara, as everyone's getting closer, you start to feel that there is some life on this planet, but it's definitely underground, and it's not. Maybe even see like a smidgen of a type of big-footed mouse or rodent of some kind that's on all fours, and all four of it's been made to be more aerodynamic and have claws that dig into the ground. But it's, you see it behind a rock and just kind of scurries underground. So there is some evidence of maybe some kind of life forms on this planet, but very, very small. And
Do
no
we see any sort of lichen or algae or any sort of plant life that they might be eating?
plant life on the surface, you see nothing at all.
Okay, nothing. Okay.
Nothing on the planet. You're guessing, maybe, Clara, as maybe you're talking about this back and forth as you're walking, that might be underground.
Underground cave mushrooms. Good eating.
Perhaps.
Yeah, I'll just keep a mental note on that. I won't worry the crew with that.
As you're getting closer, you can see where the ship went down, and you see the hole that it just smashed into the crust and then buried itself into a cave further away. But when it crashed, it made a huge crack in the ground, and now there's a small crevasse in front of you that you all have to jump over. So I'm going to need everyone to give me an athletics check to run and jump. It's not too bad. It's like a meter wide. Ringo makes
Do we have any advantage or disadvantage?
I'll give you with the wind. Okay, well, I guess I should say all right. Do you wait for the wind to be at the appropriate time?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Is Calera still giving us cues about when to go?
Just 3, 2, 1, jump!
And it's a whole line. So all of you jump at the same time. I'll give you all advantage then.
Okay.
And you've made it over. Calera, you jump a little bit. You make it all the way across, but the heel of maybe you haven't been in a spacesuit ever before, would you say? And it's kind of bulky and a little bit weird. And your foot hits the edge of it, and you start tilting back a little bit. But a tear, getting a 19, grabs your arm and just kind of pulls you up. Because the fall would have been, it's only a meter, but you kind of would have fallen down this crevasse, and you can't really tell how deep it is. It's kind of like ping-ponged you're on the walls all the way down and maybe wedged your way in. As you look at this, it went down pretty deep.
I stay out of crevasses when I can.
The crevasses are probably a bad thing.
That's a pretty good piece of advice.
But now that you've jumped over, you're on the other side, and you can see a hole that goes down into the cave that the shuttle had crashed in, that is containing the teenagers. The teenagers are on the opposite side of the cave. And there is a little bit of that light coming in, and you can see there's like 2 other holes on the surface that looks like they're also letting a little bit of light in from the cave as well.
Do we see like debris from the ship? Can we tell from seeing the track and the hole and stuff how bad the ship is banged up?
Yeah. Oh, there's a wing right over there on the left side. There's a wing over there. It's banged up pretty bad. And now that you're even closer with your scanners, you can tell that ship has been buried itself in there, and it's never going to fly again. It's been smashified pretty bad.
Okay. So with our communication system in our spacesuits, I guess every once in a while as we're going up, I would still try to contact them on whatever frequencies there might be.
Okay. So now that you're closer, you static. You're messing with the frequency and whatnot, and you hear a quiet voice. Hello? We've crashed. Can anyone hear us?
We can hear you. We're on the way to rescue you. Please stay calm.
Good, thank you. Mason, he's hurt pretty bad. Come quickly.
Okay, and medical supplies.
Good. His symbiote has been injured quite badly, and Nika, she went out to get help, but she hasn't come back. Have you seen her?
We have not. Do you have any way of contacting her?
I don't want to leave Mason alone. This is
no, don't leave.
Jortel
I was just wondering
speaking.
if you had any way of contacting her.
No, I've tried, and she's not
We will
answering
look
back.
for her.
I'm sorry. What did you say, Eric?
I said we will look for her. How far away are we?
All right, so you're right here. You look down and you can see the cave. Let's adjust that for everybody. And let's get your tokens and whatnot. So we have a tier. You guys are up here. Oops. A tier. We have Burvell, you're not there. Sorry.
Nope.
Cholera. I'll get to you in a moment, Burvell. And a Ringo, you're right here. And we have Mason and Jortel are on in the shuttle right there. Cholera, as you're looking down in one of the holes right here, as you guys are up here, you're looking down. It goes down about 9-10 meters, and there's plant life all along the sides of the cave that's in here. And there is a little bit of light shining down in there, but the rest of it's pretty dark. You can see a couple of pillars right here, here, and here. Those are kind of holding up the cave, or they've withered away, and that's kind of what's left, the rock that's been still the hardest. Before we continue advancing with you guys, I'm going to go back to Ravel at the shuttle. You get hit by, the wind is starting to push your ship, and it's starting to sink right now even further. That it's kind of being like wedged under, the wing of the shuttle is being wedged underneath as it's starting to dip in, and you're starting to go at a little bit of an angle now.
Okay. Yeah, I'll try to find from my seismic readings or whatever a nice place that's solid that might be a good landing port, or close by, so I don't have to fly very far. But maybe if I can fly up, I can land on it and then know I'm on solid ground.
Okay. You are, where you landed is solid ground, so basically you just need to manage your way to slide back up and out of the hole.
Yeah, so I want to try to pilot the ship back a little bit when the wind dies down. Try to get on out of the sinkhole.
So yeah, between Clara helping you out with that earlier, you scanned it, you get an impression. I'll give you say a regular piloting check.
Okay.
Fingers crossed. An 8 or a 6 only.
Put it in 4 low first.
4-wheel drive.
At this moment, the atmosphere becomes unpredictable, we'll say, and you crash through the ground, and you crash land into a cave of your own.
No.
And you're now sitting like this. So the back of the ship is like this. The cockpit is up in the air, and you're in your seat right now, looking up, as in rocks kind of from all around, as you fall into the cave, start hitting the cockpit, the canopy of your ship, and just kind of bounces off of it. And then, of course, you see a rock up above, like 15 meters above you, start to rock back and forth. If it falls, it's going to land directly into your cockpit, maybe even smash the glass even further.
Are there any weapons on this ship?
There are no weapons on this shuttle. I mean,
nice.
No, there's no blasters to shoot up. It is a cargo ship.
Cargo ship.
Mm-hmm.
Oh boy. Can I even how big is this cave that we're in? I'm in?
Your cave, it's enormous. It's the size of a stadium.
Okay, well, there's no pressure down here, so I guess I can try to fly the ship further away from where the rock is not going to land on it.
Okay, so give me another piloting check. This will be a disadvantage.
I swear I'm a good pilot.
This will be a disadvantage, but I'll let you roll the tension die as well.
Oh, well, good, because
to add on. So give me another piloting check here. Did you do that? All right. Oh, you got a 20. You got a 22. You want to?
No, that's you said disadvantage. So.
Oh, sorry. Oh, that was before. Oh no. I'm sorry. You have a regular roll because now the wind isn't knocking you around. Is for disadvantage, so you just have to move really quickly. You got a 22. You don't have to roll the tension die to add on.
Okay.
And you move out of the way before that enormous rock would have smashed your ship, and you land further in this cave. But now you're in a cave. Your ship has been damaged. Your life support's doing okay, but your thrusters are a little bit screwed up because you land on the back.
Okay. I will do an assessment, try to fix things up, as well as eventually I might have to try to get an antenna or something up on top so they can, I don't know if the radio waves or whatever are being blocked that I'm in a cave. So
do you try contacting your fellow Phoenix One members?
Try right away, but
nothing. You're cut off now.
Yeah, I kind of figured. So I'll work on the ship first, but then try to get a relay up above so they can hear me. But I feel like down here is probably safer than up in the atmosphere. So I'm going to stay down here for now.
It's a lot more calm. It's a lot more quiet.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just dark cave with there is no light, only from a little bit from your ship. I'll say you start repairs right now, and then I'll come back to you in a moment as we transition back to where the teenagers are and the rest of Phoenix 1. Okay, so you've made contact. You can see how far away you have to get into the cave to go help these kids out. Teenagers, excuse me.
Yeah, so I tell my other two people, the girl Nico, is
Nika.
probably somewhere in this cave, so we have to find her. But also, there's one of the other people is hurt in the ship, so perhaps we should split up. Not sure how steady the ground is in the cave. Hopefully, it's better than upstairs.
Yeah.
I don't know about splitting up too much because we don't know how the ground is, and there's only 3 of us, so we can't go in pairs. And
Just each square here is 1 meter. Give you an idea.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And you are about 9 meters up, so you're going to have to use that rope that you luckily have, a climbing kit, to climb your way down into the cave here. Walking, because you've been scanning and noticing this planet's surface, walking closer to the ship isn't advisable because it's very thin crust right now. You'd probably fall through. It seems like right here is a good point. It's a solid point, and looking at the ground is probably a lot more solid down there, inside of the floor of the cave. That is.
So our space suits don't provide any sort of mobility. They're just like hazard or like oxygen.
Yep, okay. Just oxygen.
Right.
No rocket packs. It's a good question.
We'd have rocket packs by now.
Mm-hmm.
I'll set the rope and put a line down.
Oh, one interesting thing about this is, excuse me, while this takes place during SG-1 Season 6, that means this setting takes place during 2002 or 2003. So that's why our technology isn't as awesome as it is right now, further in the 21st century.
Yeah, 2021, where we definitely have rocket packs.
Exactly, everybody. Got our hoverboards and whatnot, and also, but there are some things, of course, like Tolan and Tok'ra devices to help elevate our technology. But we don't have all that stuff. We have to depend on Atari. Okay, so who's going to climb down first?
Oh, I'll take that rope and head on down.
Okay. So, climbing. That's athletics. But since you have a climbing kit, that gives everyone advantage on their climbing check. So go ahead, Atir, as you're going to go down first and check out the situation. Perfect. Like a pro. You're all the way down on the ground. Yeah, definitely a solid ground. Not too bad. Vines, like greenish, more brown than green vines are all along the cave right now.
Are there any mount points on our spacesuits? As in, loop the rope around just to prevent any sort of horrible accidents?
I would say so, yes.
Okay. Clara, do you want me to rope you in here and you can go down? I don't know how comfortable you are climbing down.
I appreciate the safety, so I'll take it.
Okay. Yeah,
all right.
I just do a simple loop around the harness point and just have them, belay down.
All right, Clara, give me a roll. You get advantage, of course.
Oh.
No problem.
No problem. Ringo helps you out. Okay, now it's your turn, Ringo.
Wait till she gets down, and then I clip myself in the same way and go down.
Whee! You go down. Go ahead. Yep, and you're good too. All of you are down there. So, all of you, I assume, have control over your characters, your tokens.
Yes. Oh, let's see.
So,
your tokens and whatnot. Go ahead.
Tokens.
Yeah, excuse me. You have tokens here on the map. Yes. Underneath. Yep. So spread you guys out, and there you are. Perfect. Wonderful. Yeah. So now you two can look into this cave. A little bit of light coming in. You have some light coming from your helmets on your spacesuits to shine the rest, and yeah, just kind of very quiet. And look around. There's a little bit of rocks and rubble on the floor of this cave. A lot more solid. Maybe you tap your stick around your stick, your staff weapon around it. It's definitely solid right here, but not everywhere though. Like, yeah, it's solid, but there's some spots that might be a little bit more crumbly. especially where you've seen other rocks from up above have smashed through and made holes.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
I can see in the dark. I was born in a cave.
Subterranean. Yep, that's true. So you have much better vision. Give me a perception check, a Ringo, and you get advantage.
13.
13. I'll say you notice that maybe you're looking around. Atir notices some of the ground and some of the rocks that have made holes and whatnot. You see a very large hole over here. Let's do this. You see a hole. Can everyone see that now?
Yep.
Yep, you see a hole right there.
Does it look like a good hole or a bad hole?
Yeah, I might have to get closer.
Okay. All right, what's the plan? Do we want to get to the ship right away and administer medical leave? Medical help?
If
Yeah.
someone's hurt over there, yeah.
Yep.
We'll have to explore the hole later, perhaps. But keep an eye out for Nika. Nico? What?
Nika.
What's her name?
Nika is her name.
Yeah, Nika.
Nika.
Heading towards the ship.
All right. Yeah, you're fine. You can head all the way over to the ship if you wish. Atir?
Okay.
Yeah, go ahead. Who is going with Atir?
I would be.
Okay, Claire, you can go. Yeah, you can go all the way to the ship. Yeah.
I follow behind, but I'm gonna just go a little slower so I can peer here and there looking for Nika.
Give me a. So you said you're looking around for her?
Yeah, I'm just taking it a little slower than the other two. I'll
Okay.
try to keep an eye on them, keep them,
Okay.
make sure I know where they are. But I'll just look a little bit more thoroughly for Nika on my way over.
Sure. You can do a perception check, or you can do a survival check, maybe for tracking and whatnot.
Ooh, I'll try survival.
Whichever one's better for you. So go ahead.
They're equal, I think. 3 each. So I got an 18 unless I have disadvantage.
You do not. You have it's a regular roll. Got 18. You can see some tracks that lead to that. Probably a bad hole now, as they've come from this way, from the shuttle. They've gone around this way, and you can see a vine that is now in the hole. And now you're guessing as you get closer, like she probably tried using that vine to climb out, but fell into a hole.
Teenagers, I tell you. Hey guys, I think Nika might have gone in that hole that we saw. Guys,
Yeah.
Yep. You guys communicate. Yes. Atir and Claire hear you. I'm not Bravaldo.
Well, hold on. I'll be on my way after I get the medic in the ship here.
Mm-hmm.
okay. I just kind of go here so I can. What is this? This thing is like a pillar. You said.
Yes, these are pillars that go up to the ceiling of the cave. They're
Okay.
like 9 meters tall, supporting the cave, and there's rocks all over the place. All right. So,
I don't get too close to the hole because I'm scared of I don't know, cave-ins or something. I'll wait for Atir to come back.
Okay.
But I just keep looking.
All right, I'll put a pause in you, Ringo, and we go over to Clara and Atir. You look at the shuttle. It's damaged. It's been smashed into part of the cave wall. It has been turned around, though, so you're looking at the cockpit now. The back end has smashed in, and you see the two kids laying down in the shuttle up against the wall. You see, as you look in, Jortel, the more heavyset one, doesn't have any hair, has shaved his head in the Jaffa way, looks at you and waves. You see Mason, shaggy-haired one, they are leaning up against the wall and are injured and are holding their side right here. And also, it looks like have a splint on their broken leg.
Okay.
Yeah,
Let's get in. Yeah.
Okay.
Go.
You go over to to get into the shuttle, there would be the door on the side. Unfortunately, it's been mangled and smashed. You can't get in there. It looks like the only way in might be, well, you have a cutting torch, I believe, or breaking the window.
Well, I'll look around more because...
Or other options, yes, definitely.
Yeah, Nika got out, so there has to be a way.
Perfect. Okay. Give me, you can, a perception check or a survival check to look around, see how she got out. Yeah, no.
I just start banging on the ship with my staff. Come on, let me in.
Would you like me to look?
Go ahead. You're thinking about it? Okay. I'll say. So at first, Atir's like not knowing how to go around. Jortel, the teenager inside, he's motioning you. He says, "Go around, and it's on the opposite side." And so I'll say that you get advantage. A 10 is enough to see it, Clara, and you can see that there's a small hole in the ship that she crawled out of.
Okay.
Yeah. But it's covered by vines and whatnot. And as you get closer to these vines, you can tell that they're definitely sharp and pointing, have thorns all in them. I'll even say as you get closer, you can see that she would probably scraped herself pretty badly, squeezing through a small hole on the side of the ship. And then scrape, maybe some of her blood is still on these thorns right now.
Okay.
Yikes.
I'll probably beat on these vines here to loosen them up so we can get in here better.
All right, you start smacking the vines, and they crumble and break away after a couple of good smacks. But when you hit them, it looks like they release a little bit of water. It kind of comes out, and as you smack them, it looks like some blood as well has been mixed in.
As he breaks apart the vines, I want to take a small piece as a sample and put in like a little sample bag.
Okay, you do that. Oringo, you're looking around, waiting, and twiddling your fingers. Not exactly, but as you're looking around, you can tell that underneath the vines, like at the bases, you're looking around, you see a bunch of small bones, like maybe you step on one of them in your spacesuits, and just small like animal bones now you notice are littered all around where at the bases of these vines are. That's Oringo noticing this. Okay.
Sorry, I was. Yep.
It's okay. Nope.
I guess I would say over the intercom, watch out for the vines. They may be aggressive. I don't know.
Just beat them over here without a problem.
And then okay, so you have to crawl in through the ship, which will be acrobatics, squeezing your way in.
Okay, I'll help her get in, and then I'm heading to the hole. I'm not actually going in.
Okay, unless you wish to make the hole bigger, and then you can get on in.
Yeah, if I can hammer on things, yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I'll say you get
also have the cutting torch.
I'll say you get the cutting torch, and your sparks are you're cutting through it. You're making it much larger. But unfortunately, then they're losing life support. Then oxygen that's inside of there.
I can drop in the tank and the mask. Yeah.
Okay.
To Jortel there.
You guys came prepared for this this mission. Yeah, so I'll say you throw that in there. They put their mask on. Joyride goes over to Mason, who's unconscious, and they put their mask over their face. And so now they have oxygen, and now you don't have to worry about the ship anymore as you start cutting in. Cholera, are you waiting for the hole? Or are you going to climb in right away? Or are you waiting for a tier to get done making a larger hole for them?
I'm going to wait for him to make the hole larger.
Perfect. You notice as you're standing there watching, as the sparks are flying and they're hitting the vines are retracting and moving away from him. Very, very slowly.
That denotes intelligence. That's an issue. And I'll be like, you might want to watch out for the sparks that's here. The vines don't like that.
So?
And as you clang and rip off a piece.
Yeah, exactly.
And you throw it, you hit the vine, it hits the vine, it kind of reacts and moves a little bit slowly away from the panel that you ripped off of the ship. And so we're going to cut then back to Ravel in his own situation, as you have to go outside. You've done all the repairs you can from the inside. You have to go outside of the ship to do some repairs of your shuttle.
Yep. I put on my suit and mask and go out there and check the engines, check for damage, see what I could do.
Okay. It's just this big black void of a cave, and your lights on your helmets shine a little bit, but it doesn't extend that far. It just doesn't seem like. I mean, this cave is enormous. You can't see walls really.
Can I turn on like a ship light?
Sure. You turn on ship lights, and you would see even more. You would see these, as I described before, these vines all along the walls, and they kind of climb up and around, almost like in a dome, as they go onto the surface. But they're a lot more thick towards the bottom.
Mm-hmm. All right. Well, yeah. Okay. There's vegetation. All right. Let's check out the engines.
Okay. Go to the engines. You need to repair them. So give me an engineering check, and then I believe you have to heal some hit points of the ship as well. It's been damaged quite a bit. So engineering check first.
Normal?
Yeah, that's normal. A 10 is great.
10.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, then do some healing or repair of the ship. This is going to take you some time.
I forgot how to do the healing part.
I think you just roll 2d8 because you're an engineer. Normally you have the equipment to repair because you have an engineering kit.
The jury rig, yeah. Okay, 2d8.
Perfect, yes.
I have to type that in.
Yeah, quickly do it to get the ship operating. Perfect.
9.
Perfect. You fix it. You fix the engines. You're all set. You just have to get back into the ship. But I'll say, as you fix this, you get more light coming from the ship right now, and it kind of shines, and you finally have enough light, and it hits a wall, and you can see that the vines have covered, at first what you thought with less light was an enormous skull of some kind, or an enormous rock of some kind, but now you see it's an actual skull of this creature of some kind that you can't determine, as it's wrapped around it and has enveloped the skeleton of this enormous looking animal of some kind that from a long, long time ago, and it has definitely bleached bones at this point. And it kind of startles you.
Okay, like how big of a skull is it?
Let's think elephant-sized.
Okay. Oh, I just hate this planet even more.
And
a fascinating skull, though.
And you don't notice this, but the camera does. It's a TV show. You see a bunch of, by your feet, a bunch of vines are slowly coming out from the ground by your feet. Maybe as you start walking back to the shuttle, you think you got your foot caught on something, like a root or something, but it was actually a vine that was trying to wrap it around the part of your foot, and you snap it as you move, but you didn't notice it as you get back into the ship.
Okay.
Okay.
I keep going.
Yep, you're back in the ship, and your ship is all repaired now and ready to take off.
All right. Jeez. I don't want to take off because I don't want to hit the atmosphere.
Oh, jeez.
Oh, jeez.
Well, we're going to cut back to everyone else in the cave, the teenagers. You've now made a big enough mark in there, and you're able to get in easily.
May I contact Burvell while I'm waiting?
Okay. You try.
Give him an update.
Yep. You try, and there's no there's no communication to his ship, or him.
Does that make sense to me, given the cave system? Like, that sounds like it would be not a shocking thing to me, right?
It is, but you're not too sure if something's blocking you from this cave or something else has happened to Ravel. You don't know. You just lost communication with him.
All right, I will update. Hey guys, I can't contact the ship. Just so you know.
As in, like, you just get static or just no response?
It's static right now.
Static.
It's more like you lost communication than him not responding, I should say.
But I think it might be because we're in the cave.
Oh, let's get to work and get out of this cave quickly then.
I guess don't linger on it too much. Just letting you know.
All right. So you're inside of the shuttle now with Mason and and the other one, Jortel. Mason is unconscious, and like I said, as you get in there, Cholera, you can see that his symbiote in his Jaffa pouch has been damaged. He's been slashed and cut, and it's wounded. So that's why he's not able to regenerate and use that larval to help him out. And he's breathing slowly.
Alrighty, let's see. This might hurt a tiny bit, and get to work doing medicine on him, trying to, stop the bleeding, assess if there's any internal damage, stuff like that.
Okay. Jortel is there. He said, Mason, he helped me fix his leg before he passed out, but I tried to keep him awake. His head looks pretty bad. So I'm going to give you advantage, Clara, on your check here.
Sweet.
A medicine check, that is.
All right. Medicine. All right. 10.
I will let you roll the tension die as well to add on.
Okay.
Because you came prepared for all this, so you have your med kit's a little bit better right now. The tools that you need are right on hand. So you got a 17 instead. Yeah, he has a pretty severe concussion, and it is his brain is bleeding pretty badly. If you can. And yeah, his symbiote is damaged pretty badly. If you can stabilize him and get him out of there quickly, he'll probably survive with the symbiote helping repair a lot of that. And surgery would help too. But you can stabilize him. So do some healing. You have a med kit, and so he's definitely wounded. You get to roll 2d8 to heal some hit points on him. Right now he has 1 hit point. So, all right.
So he gets 7 back, it looks like.
He's got max hit points. And he starts coming around right now as you've patched him up. I should say. They start coming around, and his little eyes look up at Jortel, and smiles at Jortel, where's Nika? Oh, she got help. Thank you.
Actually, Nika's still MIA. We're currently looking for her, so don't worry about it. Do you know exactly what direction she went?
That way, and points to where you kind of came in that direction. The only other way out of the cave is back over here. She said she was going to climb out.
She's on the surface?
I don't know. We couldn't see her after she got pretty far away.
All right, and then I'll get on comms and relay that to Oringo and Atir. Nico might be on the surface,
but probably not, is what you're guessing.
Well, her tracks seem to lead to this here hole, but anything's possible.
So, Atir, you've gone over to meet with Oringo?
Yes.
Okay. All right.
All right, let's approach this hole as a team.
Okay. Two of you go over cautiously.
Yep, stabbing my staff along the way.
As you get closer, you can see that there's a bunch of vines that kind of go into this little hole right now, alongside the walls. And as you get closer to here, you peer in, and it's just a diameter about 1 meter. You see about 5 meters down is Nika, who's sitting in the middle with a bunch of vines kind of have crept down alongside of the walls of this little well, I guess we'll call it, or hole she's fallen into. And she's sitting down, and Atir, you recognize she's meditating. She's doing Kalnarim right now.
Oh. Okay.
And she doesn't notice you as she's very much concentrating very strongly Kalnarim. And you gather that that's how she survived out here with barely any oxygen for so long, as she's put herself into this state.
Okay.
To save herself from suffocating. Okay. But she's down.
All right,
there.
Oringo. Okay, Oringo, you have a rope, another set of rope, right?
I don't know how many ropes I have.
I'll say you go over and you cut off a piece of the excess rope that you had to get in here, and you can bring it on over.
Okay.
All right.
But also the vines have gone down towards her.
So I know better than doing that.
Okay.
So. In fact, I'm planning on
Nuking
kind
the
of
planet.
bashing them. Yeah, bashing the plant around the outside here.
All right.
Are the vines doing anything to Nika that we can see?
You do start to notice that they look like they have crept down towards her, and she's remaining still. You realize that, I'll say that she finally notices that you're up there. She just tilts her head up to look up straight at you, and she does this. to both of you.
Okay. I quietly get the rope ready to go down.
Okay. So you secure it. How do you secure the rope?
Well, if nothing else, I can just secure it to me and have a tier climb down.
Nice.
Is there anything to hold that? I guess it depends on how much rope we have. Would there be enough rope to go around that pillar to the northeast?
Let's see here. My first thought is to say yes. So let's say yes.
Okay. Well, if that's the case, then that's what I will do. I will tie it around there, secure it, and then bring it back to the hole, and I will let a tier go down.
Okay. Okay. Is that what you're going to do, a tier?
Or
you have another
I
idea?
will, but I want to bash the plants first.
All right. A tier starts bashing the plants, and they start recoiling and pulling out of the well or the hole that Nika's fallen into and up, and they start to move and they start to act on their own as they, in a way, come alive. Now, two of them, as they retracted quickly, kind of come up like this, and you see that on the back sides they have little, almost like octopus things, but on this side is where they have all of their spikes or thorns and whatnot, and they're kind of reaching up and looking like they're ready to strike. So you've aggravated them. So as you start bashing, not only do some of them retract, but you look all around the entire cave, and all of them are starting to shake and move alongside the walls. And some of them start moving towards the shuttle and start wrapping around, start pulling at the shuttle, and hitting the windshield as it startles you, Cholera, as they start getting quite aggravated. The same thing, and then the same thing happens to Brevel. All of a sudden, the vines snap out from outside of the walls of your cave and start wrapping themselves up around your shuttle.
Oh, jeez!
So everyone roll initiative. As a tier has activated, has angered them. The vines. I'll just do this here on my little handy dandy notepad here since I'm old school. So, Aringo, what did you get? You got a 22.
22.
Brevel got a 9. A tier got a 5. And Cholera got a 9. Okay, so, Aringo, you get to act first.
Do I have in my survival kit or my first aid kit or one of the two, do I have a flare?
Yes.
Okay, I'm going to pull out my flare. I'm not necessarily going to turn it on yet, but I get my flare in one hand and my combat knife in the other.
Okay, you pop the flare, and you notice that the two vines that are coming towards you kind of react to that, and they don't care for it, and they kind of back up a little bit.
All right. I will just kind of hold it between me and them for right now.
Okay. Do you move over there to kind of push them back?
If I can.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'll say it happens.
Avoid them.
So let's move you like right here. It's kind of protecting them. So you push them back, and when you get closer to the wall of vines, they also kind of move back away from you. And as they move back, it uncovers all the bones of the critters that they've consumed in front of you, underneath on the floor.
All right, let's make this snappy. I don't know how long the flare will last.
Okay.
10 minutes at most.
It's the vines' turns right now, and as they're going to attack you, Aringo, but they get disadvantage on their attacks because you has some fire light in front of them. Does a 13 hit you?
I don't know. Armor class 19, so I'm guessing no.
Definitely not. And I rolled a 2 for the other one. So both of these right down here, kind of, they want to attack you, but they can't as you then turn your flare at them, and it prevents them from getting any closer. These vines move very slowly this way. And Cholera, the vines are from the hole that you had made, a tier had cut through even bigger. Some vines are creeping in very slowly into the cabin of your shuttle.
Can I talk on my turn Can I say?
Yes, you can talk
They
whenever
don't
you
like
want.
flares.
Say again, I'm
They
sorry.
don't like flares. So if you have a flare, use it.
Okay. Cholera, it's now your turn.
With that piece of information, I'm going to go rummaging through the ship for a flare.
Roll rummaging. Roll scrounging.
Scrounging.
You know. What would be the equivalent?
Investigation.
Investigation sounds perfect. Thank you.
All right, investigation.
Perfect. Yeah, you go over. You find a flare. You pop one over. Yeah, had all the equipment had fallen out from the shuttle, and you go over. You grab one that's sitting on the floor. You pick up a flare.
I would go over to the hole, light it, and then like just kind of set it so it's propped up, pointing at the hole.
Nice. Okay, you push it. Yeah, the vines that are crawling in through the hole kind of recoil and go back out, but they're still on the outside of the ship. Of that hole.
I'll turn to it was Mason that's asleep, right? Or knocked out, kind of.
Yes, he's knocked out. He's unconscious.
So
you disabled him. He is now awake. He is now alert.
Oh, well, I'll still turn to both of them. Like, do either of you have any engineering capabilities?
No. What do you want us to do?
Can you find a way to get an electrical charge going through the hull of the ship to shock these vines off?
Okay. I don't think we have power for that.
No way this couldn't end well.
I'll try.
Oh, yeah.
I'll try though.
Cholera.
Okay, so you could see. So Mason really can't move at all on his own. He has to be propped up because he has that broken leg, slash right here, and a concussion and brain bleeding. Jortel's like, okay, I think I could do this. And he goes over to the controls right now and he starts pushing some buttons. If there was windshield wipers that would be on the ship, that would be on. That's the equivalent. You could tell that he is not the brightest guy. He's a sweet guy, but he's not really. He doesn't understand this stuff that well. I'll say he turns on the lights as best he can, and then the power. He turns on the lights. You see some of these vines recoil, especially the ones that were crawling on top of the ship. I'll say they recoil, but the power goes down immediately, and now the ship has no more power. You use the last of it.
Well, it was worth a shot. Is there anything else? Because I'm pretty sure these things are sentient, and I don't like to hurt sentient things too much.
Sure, fair enough.
I suppose setting up the flare was kind of my action. So
yes, it was, and then talking. I think your actions are kind of done right now as you've moved as well.
Yeah.
So we're gonna go to Brevel. Your ship is getting tangled up by vines.
Okay. I'll turn the ship on and fire up the thrusters so there's some thrust going out, or just at least the engines are throwing flame out.
Okay.
And then try to just a little hover turn so the flame kind of turns and spins and try to scare the vines away. Nice.
Give me a piloting check.
Because I'm really good at my rolls for piloting.
I'll give you. Oh, you don't have to. Okay, a 16. You're starting to get the hang of
disadvantage.
You're starting to get the hang of this. No, I wasn't going to give you disadvantage. No, yeah. You spin around and you burn and break off all the vines connecting you. You're a little bit dizzy. Okay, that was quick. You did really, really fast. Yeah. But you did it. And now you're free.
Okay, well, if I'm flying, I'll try to fly out of the hole, I guess, to get out of this situation.
All right, I'll say your ship starts getting out of the hole that you created, out of this cave. Then I'll come back to you next round as you're on your way out of the cave.
Yep.
And I'll say, you could tell your communication starts to, as you're getting altitude, you'll be able to talk now with the rest of Phoenix 1. You can talk right now, or you can wait if you wish.
I'll wait a second until I actually get out of the hole, maybe.
Great. Atir, now your turn.
Okay, I'm going down to get Nika.
Okay. Give me a climbing check. And so you're going to go down and grab her and pull her up? Or are you going to assist her? Like, how are you going to rescue her?
I'm
Nika?
assuming that being kind of deprived of oxygen down here, she's not going to be all with it. So I'll go down and do the fireman thing over my arm, put her over my arm and try to climb up.
So give me, you'll just do a regular climbing check. You've already gone down, so you grab her. Because you have a rope, it'll just be a regular climbing check. You don't get advantage. They'll cancel each other out, it's basically.
So strength or athletics?
Athletics check.
Okay.
To grab and climb, and you did it 18. Sure. Yeah, you pull her out up to the top. Yeah, you can tell she's in pretty bad shape now. Now that she's no longer in Kelnareem, you can tell she's starting to become very, very dizzy.
Sure.
But you've managed to pull her out, and Oringo is keeping the other vines at bay. But you can see, like, yeah, but some of them on this side right here might be trying to come out of the wall as well, and maybe close you off.
Okay. I missed where you said over. Did you ping?
Sorry?
Where you said over here? Where
I'm sorry, here? Yes. Over here, these vines are moving very slightly. I'll put a little token there to indicate that. In a way of trying to close you off from escaping, surrounding around behind a tier. Ringo, it's now your turn.
I will move in that direction. I will kind of go north of the hole, like this.
Okay.
Oh, I don't know. I'm behind Nika, I think. But I was going to move that way and try to scare those vines off.
If you move...
Shaking my flare at them.
Sure. If you move, these two will get opportunities of attack
No.
as you move out, because you're kind of in melee, keeping them at bay. Do you wish to do it anyway?
In order to not have that happen, I would need to somehow defeat them, yes?
You would use your action of disengage, and then you'd be okay.
Oh, I will disengage.
Okay, basically that becomes your action then, and then you just move. Yep. Okay, but then you move over to like right here.
Sure.
Okay, you move. Yeah, you can move 6. All right, but that was your action to disengage. So you did a quick haha, back off, and then they recoiled, and then you moved away. Okay,
that's what I want.
It's the vine's turns. They move very slowly, only 1 meter. This one moves over here. And a tier you had brought up, Nika, she's panting. You're sitting on the ground, and this vine reaches over and tries to attack you from behind and tries to grapple you.
Sure.
Okay, sure. Does a 16 hit?
No.
Okay. Vines are coming up all around you. And I'll say then you notice that as this vine has come over here, a bunch of vines from the ground are coming up all around you and trying to entangle you. Both Atir and Oringo. So all of you do a strength saving throw. Otherwise, you're going to be restrained by these vines that are coming out of the ground. So we have a strength of 22 and 12. Yeah, you break free of them. You slash your way through, but they're still coming around you. So in this little area right here, purple works. Right here is rough terrain, so it's going to be half your movement speed of 6 meters. So going through there is going to slow you down a little bit as they're kind of wrapping on you. Nika is getting wrapped up though by the vines. I'll roll her strength. Well, she's at disadvantage since she's so weak. She's got a 5, so she's getting wrapped up now and bound by these vines that are coming up underneath. These vines they move this way because they have no more light, and this one's being scared. Okay, all right. It is now. Yeah, the one that you keep off bay, Cholera, is still there with the flare, but flares don't last that long. Only one more round before they pooter out. That's going to be the same for you, Oringo. But Cholera, it's your turn now.
All right, I'm going to test a theory. Is there a window over by this vine?
Yeah. So yes, you can see the vines that are that vine is trying to go over the canopy or the window of the front of the shuttle.
I want to see if my flashlight does anything to it when I turn it on and point it at it.
You do that as your action, and it recoils and moves away.
Okay, so flashlights work as well. That's good to know, because those last a little bit longer than flares.
Do a nature check.
And does this have to deal with ecosystems and creatures?
Yes.
All right, so another...
And then your tension die, right?
Correct.
D8.
So tension.
Awesome.
So
17.
that's 17.
Yes, you notice that this vine, in particular here, there is light coming down from above where the shuttle made a hole up, but it was, you could tell it was reacting to the natural sunlight, but then also when you shine your flashlight and then you look at the flare, you can see it was shriveling up and it was smaller. It was losing water. It doesn't like that. And so it looks like it had less water, which was using for muscle, basically, to move around. And it dries up and brittles and it dies when you shine your flashlight even further on it.
Perfect. Then yeah, I'll relay that to everyone. Like, get a flashlight out. It works a lot. It works just as well as the flares.
Yeah, and I'll say with your flashlights of your helmets, but I'll say like you had a super powered flashlight one, the super duper Tolan Maglite flashlight is what really high beam flash it to burn it up really quickly. So Burvell, it's your turn. Back in your own area.
I will fly out of the hole if I can.
You can. Give me a piloting check.
You say it with such confidence.
We just roll all the pilot. You do it. You're out. You're up and above. You're riding the winds now of this moon.
Hello, Ringo, Atir, Cholera.
You can all hear him.
Hello, we're being attacked by vines.
Watch out for the vines. I saw it say that. Do you need pickup?
Yes.
Okay.
All right.
Then I'll try to fly over there.
Burvell, you're on your way. That's your turn. Atir.
With my as much intelligence as I have, I'm not going to bother with a flashlight, so I'm just going to plasma blast that thing that's right in front of me here, and just
right there.
Let them have it here.
Give them what for?
A super powered version of light.
It is.
So yeah, 21 to hit and 15 force damage.
You blast it, obliterating it. Such a big blast. Part of the wall again. The vines blast in shock. The vines recoil on the walls itself. They definitely did not like that. And at the same time, from that shockwave, since you're so close, they recoil from all the vines coming underneath the ground around Nika. They come back down. They let her free. But you can tell, yeah, she is very shallow breathing right now. Okay. So yeah, you're no longer in cover or ground movement. Yep. Half your movement as they've gone back down underneath. Okay. Ringo.
With these spacesuits, is there a way to share oxygen, or can I take the whole mask and put it on her for a moment, or
you have a helmet on?
Oh, so I would need to take the entire helmet.
Yep.
Okay.
Or if you want to rig in like your breathing pack on your backpack and give her a mask. Atir has a mask on him because he brought 3 of them.
Yeah. I tried to hook up my oxygen tube to the mask so that she can share my oxygen for now.
Give me an engineering check to rig that up.
Okay, I'm great at that.
Fingers crossed, Oringo. Ho, Oringo! Even with your slightly more clumsy Turin hand, or not Turin, Unas hands, you're able to do it, and you put the mask on her face, and she starts to breathe. She gives a thumbs up, and Anika stands up, and then she points to basically, let's get out of here, but also pointing back at her friends at the shuttle.
They should be coming, hopefully.
Okay, she nods. Okay. Nice work. That was your action. It's the vines' turns. This one right here moves closer, and this one is going to snap from there. It reaches out to try to entangle attack Atir. Nope, I got a 2. And the other one does a Ringo. Does a 17 hit. A Ringo.
They need to beat my armor class, yes?
Equal or beat?
19, so no.
Then no. Nope, you're fine. But they've reached out to try to grasp you and hit you with their spikiness and badness.
And did my flare now die this round, did you say?
Your flare has now died this round.
Okay.
And then Clara, it's your turn and your flare. So this one doesn't move any further, but your flare dies. And it's now your turn, Clara.
perfect timing for me to shine my flashlight at it.
Okay, perfect time. Yep. Sizzle, and it burns away. Your mag light burns it up.
All right, then, Jortel, you have to carry Mason out of here.
I'm on it. I got this. Come on, buddy. And he picks him up and he starts making his way out. And he gets his way out there. And they start booking it as quick as they can out of there. Do you follow?
Yeah, I follow. So that would be 5, 10, or 1, 2.
We'll say we get to here. He
6.
He gets out there. Because Mason's a little bit smaller person. Jarrell is kind of an ox. So he picks him up and he's run as quick as he can out of there. All right. So that was Clara. Burvell. You're there. You're getting there. You're piloting like this, going with the winds. You're a leaf on the wind right now, in a good way so far. And you're getting closer.
Well,
that's a wrong science fiction. Sorry. But you're getting
all know
closer.
how this ends.
Yeah, they all know what's going to happen to Burvell now.
But you're overhead now. You're over right over here. I'll get Burvell token, which will be the ship as well. Bloop.
Yeah, I'll try to land near the cave I can if there's a good landing point.
You're gonna land, okay? Well,
Well, I can't pick them up without landing, can I?
yeah, and you can't really use the ring system in the back of the shuttle to ring down because the wind would just knock those rings out of there, so you can't really ring them in. Unless you want to try to do that.
No.
Okay.
Unless the cave's big enough that I could fly into the cave and let the ring system go down. But
The hole that, yes, there is a large hole, I'll say right here, that was made like right here when the cave smashed through and then, went all the way across. Like, smash right here and then went flying and smashed onto the other wall. So you could.
I feel like it's
possibly
safer for me to land.
You could land in the cave if you wanted to, but you're going to land outside?
Whichever is the safest route. So I'm going to try to land outside of it because I don't trust flying with the wind through a hole that was made by another ship because I don't think it's probably going to be big enough. And I don't know if I can fly and hold the ship steady in the wind to send the rings down through the cave.
Sounds
so
good.
I think the best action is just to land it.
All right. I won't have you roll. I'll say you land safely where you are located right there. That's basically where the rope is to exit out of this cave.
Okay.
So you land.
And I relay, I'm here. I'm outside.
We'll be there with you shortly.
Atir, your turn.
Okay. What I'm going to do is head down a little bit, and I'm going to get engaged with this thing. All right, you guys clear out. I'm going to tie them up here for a bit. So since my staff is recharging, I'm just going to make a melee attack on it.
Okay. That hits.
Good.
Club, okay. Damage it. It's still around, but not looking that great.
Okay.
Okay, you heard Atir. You heard the man. It's now the Vine's turns. Oh, they see new prey. They're going to attack Atir, both of them, down by you.
Just one quick thing.
Yes, of course.
I have a feat that allows a team member to take a disengage action. So I'm gonna set Nika as the team member, so she gets an automatic disengage action.
She rolls out of the way,
Yep.
and she's kind of stuck to a Ringo because
Good.
she has
Good,
the
that's
oxygen
fine.
attached to yours. So you kind of been chained together in a way. Oxygen tanked. I got a crit. Okay, the first one, I'm sorry, I got a 16 to hit Atir, but then I got a 20 to hit, which is a crit.
A crit would, but a 20 normally wouldn't.
Yep. Well, luckily I got a crit there. So you take 11 piercing damage as it wraps around you, punctures, and starts ripping into your spacesuit. And now you have been grappled.
Okay.
It wraps around you. That would be this one right here. Okay. These move toward. Oh, they see fresh meat over here, and they move as quickly as they can right there. So, Clara, your turn.
All right, I'm still going to try to book it to the cave entrance. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I want to go to, come on, there.
Mm-hmm.
And is that within kind of range to shine a flashlight at this guy?
Gone.
Okay. And then tell Jortel, all right, come on, let's go. I'll take care of the other plant.
Okay. Yep. They double move then, and I'll say they go over here. Okay. They run past. Well, technically, he's carrying Mason. All right, they move past. It is now Brevel's turn. You're kind of in the shuttle waiting.
Hello? Everyone okay? I'm here.
We're engaged right now. I don't know if we can talk really.
I'll just be here.
You can talk. Are you going to do anything, Brevel? Or wait?
I'm just waiting, I guess, because
Okay.
like I didn't know if they needed any more assistance or.
We're trying to get disengaged from plants. Can you shine any light in here?
I'll turn the ship to shine light down there.
Well, you've landed, but now you have to
Yeah.
angle it up. Then you have to take back off again.
Well, so I can't just like direct some kind of beam of light that way.
No, it doesn't have turning. It doesn't have spotlights to turn or anything like that on the ship. They're mounted on the wings.
Yeah, I'll try. I guess if they need light, I'll try to angle the ship and shine it down.
All right, roll piloting.
Yep.
Engineer piloting.
Engineer piloting.
No, I mean you're an engineer who's piloting
Oh,
all the
yeah.
time. That's what I wanted to say.
There you go.
You do it. You do it.
I've calculated the diversions of the wind and atmosphere into my piloting.
And not just that, was when you were repairing the ship, you're like, okay, yeah, this is my ship now. I really understand how to use it now. So these burn away the other two as just light shines on into the rest of the cave and burns them all as they recoil back into the rest of the vines. And you're able to now make a break for it. Everyone, yep, we're out of initiative. Yeah, do you just want to?
Yeah.
Okay.
Get the heck out of here. But I coordinate with Nika so that we don't, pull each other with our heads connected.
Sure. Yeah, they all get up there. Who's going last? I want to know.
I will. Yeah, I'm standing. I'm ready to hit anything. So
Okay.
I get my flashlight out as I'm going over, just in case.
Nice. Yep. You're keeping them all at bay. You start getting into the ship. You're loading up a tier. I need you to roll a dex save, as now some of the vines are trying to get one last grasp. They want some food, so I need a dex save as you're climbing up the rope. They're trying to get your feet. They wrap around. A 14 is just exactly what you needed as you pull yourself up, snapping and ripping your spacesuit some more. But you all make it back onto the shuttle that Brevel is piloting, and you take off and get out of there safe.
Yeah, I don't have to roll.
You've rolled piloting enough, and you did a good job, especially towards the end.
I really wanted to try to use my flashlight as a grenade by stabbing it with my combat knife and throwing it. Lithium-ion batteries and whatnot.
So you make it back to Phoenix Site. They're reunited with their family. All the teenagers are happy. Cholera, Mason and Jarrell want to learn more medicine about what you did. He gets Mason gets there all patched up. They're going to be fine. The symbiote's going to heal them, no problem. And Nika goes over to Master Braytek and says, "Thank you so much for helping me learn Kelnarim, how to attain Kelnarim. It's what saved my life. Maybe your teachings do know how to do some good things, old man." And he laughs at that and says, "Yes, but you must behave yourself first. And if you do well, maybe then you'll all get some candy." And
After they get out of prison for stealing a shuttle.
Yeah,
no, everything's fine. You
okay.
you damaged the shuttle. So they learned a lesson. And to learn a lesson for these future Jaffa, a shuttle is worth it. No, the Tok'ra is not very happy about losing a shuttle, but happy that obviously they survived. Yes. But,
we got to go back. I forgot my rope.
Oh, your rope. That's coming out of your paycheck.
passed down from generation to generation.
So that was the shorter episode of Joyride. I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you all so much for watching. Thank you guys for playing along with us and me. So again, check StargateTheRPG.com for any updates. If you want to make your own adventures and play along in the Stargate world universe, it's awesome and fun. So this is our little pitch. Dan, we have a podcast. Could you pitch our podcast?
Yes, we have a podcast. It's called Roll of the Dice. That's ROLE of the Dice. You can go to rollofthedice.com. Lee and I talk to each other, and we try to give tips and tricks to new GMs, and hopefully tips and tricks to experienced GMs about how they can tell a better story or run better games, or just different things to think about when you're running your adventures. And as well, we do interviews with game writers and game designers. We have them on sporadically through our episodes, as well as we talk to each other about storytelling and GM tips.
Yeah, we have a wide variety of topics, and especially we try to get those writers and game designers that you probably heard of, like Matt Forbeck, Robin D. Laws, a bunch of people from Modiphius that did the Stargate adventures, trying to pick their brain and see how they run games, how they write adventures, and a whole bunch of tips for players as well. So I hope you check us out at Roll of the Dice podcast, and you can download us at any place that podcasts are downloadable: iTunes, Stitcher, Google Play, and Podbean. So thanks again. I said thank you a lot. So I hope you enjoyed all this.
Thank you.
Thanks for running the game, Lee.
Cool.
Yeah, it's great.
Thanks, Lee.
Bye.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.
You've come from all over the galaxy. You represent the best of your people. Jaffa, Tok'ra, Tolan, Unis, Langarans, Atorans, and the men and women of the United States Air Force. You're here for reasons all your own. Some of you inspired by the heroes of the Tauri. Some of you to uncover the past or explore the future. Others finally having that chance to fight for your freedom. Whoever you were, why ever you're here, that's behind you now. We rise up against a common enemy, and that enemy has made us brothers and sisters. Any differences your races may have, put them aside. You're all members in Stargate Command, and you are Phoenix.